and we tried to shut him up because they'll just take him and shoot him. So we propped him up under our arms and laid on the other side because he couldn't stand anymore. But he lost it anyway, started insulting the Nazis. So the Nazis screamed out, "Hard, hold!" And all the group stopped. And he went to the farmhouse slowly and brought in a hose because the man wanted water. So we got all excited. Oh boy, we're going to get water now. We're thirsty and hungry. So he comes out with the hose. It doesn't come all the way to our group. So he ordered the fireman, and we were so anxious for water. He ordered the fireman to attach another hose. Then he took the hose and brought the man out and stuck it in his mouth to get the water and kept pushing it down and down and down. The man just split in bleeding and all. We arrived in Dachau, and I was sitting on the train step, and behind me were all kinds of half-dead people screaming, and Hilfe, help me, arms going up. It was very, very tragic, and I felt, well, if I get a bullet now, it will be a blessing. It will be quick out, because I was totally starved as a skeleton. And as we sat there, a Nazi came and grabbed me. But a little boy came up to me and said, "I don't want to go in the gas chamber. I don't want to go. I want my mama." I said, "I don't know your mama." And he said, "Oh, I'll go with you." And I said, "Yeah, you put your head in my chest and I'll save you. We'll go together." But the Nazi came and pulled me out. And he marched me across to a concrete wall which was full of bullet holes and lots of dead bodies, still moaning and yelling, "Help me," with hands out. Those were 10 years of nightmares, those hands. And then they blindfolded us. Well, I never heard of it, being blindfolded. So as I was being blindfolded, I heard awful noise, very unbearable. And I said to the lady next to me, "Hey, don't you dare move, because they'll tell the Americans that we ran, that's why they shot us." So they lined us up against the wall, and there we stood, and I heard this noise, and then I heard a lot of Nazis running. They were running away and yelling, "Mach schnell, make it fast, let's get out of here, let's get out of here." Then the next thing I knew, someone was pulling on my rag, and he couldn't get high enough to pull it. I'm little anyway. And finally, when he got the rag off, there was this man standing there. And we all got, what is going on? Well, what, you know, he was upset because he couldn't get the rag out. When he got the rag out, there stood a man shorter than me, with slit eyes, Japanese fellow, and he had a USA. "Look, USA, you are free. We are you, freedom people. We're going to save you, blah, blah, blah." And he hands me a Hirschibach, and he hands the lady her Shabbat. But while I was still reaching for mine, she ate hers real fast and dropped dead. So the guy grabbed the sound came in, "Don't feed the prisoners. They are totally dehydrated, and if it's anything sharp, it will split your stomach." So you can see how I feel safe when I buy a Hirschibach, and some lady standing next to me staring at my Hirschibach. So here we go. When I saw the tanks all of a sudden, and it had an American flag, and I thought, oh, my father studied in New York to be a doctor. He told me all about America. It's a free country, and there's So I crawled up to tank, wrapped the flag around me, and I said to everybody, we are free. These are Americans. We are free. When I noticed that a naked man was walking towards me, dragging towards me. He had a pistol, and he aimed right at my face, and he was walking. I thought, well, this is the end. What a way to die with American flag on me. But I was walk on death by then, because I was just full of infections and bugs and this and that and starved. Then he walked up all the way to the tank, looked at me for a long time, pointed the gun at me, and I figured that was the end. And he said, entschuldigen Sie bitte, forgive me please, And he turned around and took the gun and shot himself. The reason he was naked is because the prisons were, they saw a German uniform, they'd kill him. They were killing the Germans. Killing. Anyway, that was my liberation day. They marched us to DP camp called Ansbach DP camp, displaced people. And they were screaming at me, what's your name? We have to process your passport or identification. We can't send you back because your parents are dead. So we need to give you papers. So, I didn't remember my name anymore. I didn't remember my age, nothing, but I was 16. And this guy, comes running and says, anybody has a Bayer aspirin? And I said, my name is Jeanette Bayers. And that's how I got my first papers, as Jeanette Bayers. And 10 years later, I remembered through dreams, nightmares, my real name. There I was free, and I would like to tell you about Hans. In Fairfield, I was given a nutcracker for the city, and it hit the papers about our performance. And somebody called me from Jewish Family Service and said, we're having sushi and bagel breakfast. You liberated, recognized you, and they want you to come down and meet them. So I came to the sushi and bagel breakfast, and I was meeting all these guys that were, their bodies before 42nd, highly decorated. And they were saying, oh, we are your brothers, and we saved you, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden this woman is talking about, I was in Heidelberg and I found this man lying on the ground next to a garbage can, and I offered him some food, and he was talking about blonde girl, blue-eyed girl that he tried to save in Auschwitz. And my husband and I grabbed the plane and flew down to Heidelberg and found Hans right on the ground. He was wanted by Nazis for defecting, and he was wanted by others, Russians, for being a Nazi. So he had no place, no identification, so he became a street person. So I flew in, and there was Hans, and I said, Hans, I'm still in love with you, but I don't know what to do with my husband. So we put him in an old age home and feeding him and giving him medication, paying for that until he died peacefully. So that's the end of my Hans. If there is anybody here that is destroying their life or going around supporting dope dealers that live in French Rivieras and high money, beautiful cars, while you are destroying your life, and you then have to repair it for many years, don't do it. I depend on all of you in this room to remember what my father said. No prejudice. He didn't say that, I'm saying. He said, everybody poops the same way. That's what my father said to us, to kill any prejudice. So, anyway, here I am, telling you the story, shaking in my boots. And thank you for listening.
Let's give her another round of applause. And one of the things that we traditionally do is to bring her some Hershey bars. So thank you. Male Hershey bars, please. Join the hunt. I'm going to get it. All right, so does anybody, we have just a few minutes, and